let's hit this other one, which I think is interesting. We've talked about this one before indirectly. So Paul Carl Lukacs gave us a question: why doesn't Hawaii do what Singapore did? Build lots of large towers to provide more housing for locals. Paul, the simple answer is that, and Dylan and I have not gone back and forth, but Dylan and I have had a lot of fun about this discussion. There's an interesting paradox in Hawaii, and that is if you go into an average crowd of people, say you walk into let's say a restaurant in Hawaii, a middle class restaurant, and you ask people to, by a show of hands, who would like to have more affordable housing? Yes, who would like to have more affordable housing? Everyone's hand's going to go up, of course. Yeah. And then if you ask people, well, who would like to have more development? Who wants to have more homes put in Hawaii, more homes built in Hawaii? Who would like to have more development? Show of hands. No one's hands are going to go up. No one's hands are going to go up. And people don't quite understand the economic trade-off between supply and demand. So, Paul, the reason why we're probably never going to see Singapore condos go up is because if you told the people of Hawaii that their island would look like Singapore, there would be, people in Hawaii don't get upset about too many things, but they get upset about more development. And you would definitely, absolutely, positively, there would be torches and pitchforks. I guarantee you, there would be torches and pitchforks at every possible public meeting if there was going to be, like, if someone had a proposal. Actually, there is a Senator Stanley Chang in Hawaii, did put together a proposal to do exactly that, to have government-built housing on the Singapore model. And I believe it got shut down dramatically. Dylan, you want to comment on that at all? That's one of your favorite topics, I think.
Well, there's also just a very practical thing. Oahu doesn't have this, but I think Maui, Kauai, and the Big Island, we have a restriction on how high you can build, right? So you can't even build above 7 stories on the Big Island. So you'd have to do a whole change or exception to the zoning code to build any type of high-rise tower. There's a couple that were built, in like the 70s. Who I don't know if it was before it was enacted or they got around it somehow with political connections. But if you look at most of our hotels, they're 4 or 5 stories tall. We don't have any high rises on the Big Island.
There's you talk about height restrictions in the Cook Islands. We have family who's from the Cook Islands. In the Cook Islands, the height restriction is you can't have a building that's higher than the tallest coconut tree. So they have the coconut tree limit, and it's still in effect to this day. It's good fun.
That's a great model. I like that.
it's totally, yeah. Well, I mean, that's why the Cooks is so cool and fun. Okay, why don't we do this? Scott, is there anything else you want to add to that real quick on the Singapore model? Is there anything?
No, I mean, there has been some public-private development for lower income housing, and then like Ulana, there's some forced components. Anytime there's a tower that gets built, a certain percentage of them have to be for reserved housing or affordable housing and whatnot. So there's some incentives that are put in, and that's probably for now until somebody reinvents the wheel and gets it pushed through politically, which is a difficult thing to do. It's probably not going to change off of that too much.
I saw something. Good.
Let's also, not forget about the dynamic in Hawaii that we, currently have a $3 billion rail system that's going to cost probably upwards of 15 and it's still not finished. They're way behind schedule. So there's not a whole lot of trust in putting huge projects in the government's hands to build amongst the populace here.
Yeah, that'd be another good one. How many billions do you trust your public officials to get any project done on time, on budget? Yeah.